Sirens indeed. These sirens. Oh, fucking that camera was on Marnie, and Marnie's not even talking. Sirens indeed, and those sirens denote AFL football, and this is what this podcast is. And Marnie, would you like to do the bounce that pill today?
Sure.
Yes, okay, great. Let's do this. Let's crack straight in.
Sure.
Everyone's recording.
Yeah, quick thanks to Richo and
Based tornado.
I've got places to be.
What?
It's State of Origin time.
Oh yeah, so I thought you were just like. I
like,
thought you were doing a Wolf of Wall Street.
Is that what they did? I regret starting this.
Thank you, Alan and Richo.
Year 10 Paddy is stoked.
Alrighty. What is it, round 12?
Yeah, it is, round 12.
Round 12, everybody. Your favourite day of the week, Thursday morning. The footy's tonight. That means later today we're gonna...
Bounce that pill.
Hooray. G'day everyone, welcome to the Footy with Marns, Thursday, this beautiful 29th of May. And May the 29th be with you. Happy State of Origin to those who celebrate, dorks, and an exciting round of footy. And we're joined by Chief Sports Reporter for the Footy with Broden and Quill Award-winning journalist Marnie Bynel. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
There's too much sport on and it's overwhelming.
Yes. Name some.
French Open.
French.
The State of Origin, both men's is on Wednesday night, women's is on Thursday night, AFL and the Matildas.
So we got...
Too much. On Friday night, the Collingwood-Hawthorn game clashes with the Matildas. That sucks.
And the Tillies game is here, yes?
Yeah, and because why did the Matildas just play on Thursday when the AFL game's in Queensland because Brisbane play Essendon? It's because the Osnell girls who just won the Champions League had to fly all the way back. I was very disappointed you talked about Tottenham on the Monday episode, but you didn't talk about Arsenal.
I should have talked about Arsenal. I don't know enough about the EPL, particularly the women's, but we know
WSL.
The WSL, what it is?
Yeah.
WSL.
Women's Super League.
Oh, Super.
Instead of the EPL.
They call it soccer? And also joined by the man they call Tom. Why do they call you that?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I have a question for Tom.
Oh, please.
The fuck's you Johnny Big Pants?
Oh, it's too hot still.
Don't you think he looks so handsome?
Yes, because you got a haircut to match all your new clothes. You're a changed dad.
He's had a glow up, Marnie. He went to Northland, which, turned out to be, you went on Friday and then by the week it was a typical Northland weekend, really.
Typical Northland weekend. You know, my wife and daughter were there when it all went down.
That's actually terrible.
It was terrifying.
There was
okay?
Yeah, they were fine.
Northland is a rough place at the best times. There was a serious machete, two factioning machete groups. And yes, Elle was there.
Yeah, it was very scary. But all good now.
Yeah, I saw because they banned machetes the following day, I think. I got the push notification being like they banned it. And then I saw someone, like another news article about how that took a lot of people by surprise. And I was like, oh, but I thought we would all be on board with the banning of machetes.
Yeah. But how are you supposed to trim your verge?
How are you supposed to cut through your bamboo now?
Yeah, it's outrageous, really.
Yeah, but also Elle has a secret Maya entrance.
Yeah. That's how she escaped. She knows the way to park where there's a Maya entrance at Northlands, not the regular entrances. So she walked in, she was walking around Maya, heard the code orange, went to her secret exit and got out. But still it was stuck in traffic because everyone was trying to get out. But yeah, had got out of the centre straight away.
Do you know that Maya is the highest performing Maya in Australia? So,
that's great.
Yeah, congratulations to that Maya.
That's a great Maya.
That was a heckle. Someone heckled that in my show to me once. Did you know that Maya that you're talking about is the highest performing Maya in Australia?
Did you fact check it or you just been telling people that after the heckle?
I take the word of a heckler.
Yeah, of course.
It's been a big week in sport, not just footy, but in sport, Marnie. You've just mentioned it. But I feel like we should crack right into it like a pepper ready for a beautiful carbonara. It's time for the...
You
didn't like
7
that?
out of 10, close.
Tom didn't like that so much that he leaned, because Tom leans over to the desk and to click the intro.
Yeah.
But he hated it so much that he moved his whole body back to the microphone to say, I don't like that.
No, it was so close. I just want you to workshop it. You got me so good with a couple today. Do you remember what they were?
Oh, it sounds like me, but I don't know.
You had
Oh,
a
no.
couple of punts today.
He was, you'll like this, Marnie. He was talking about, Zach Rawain was in the office and he was talking about the best basketball player in the world right now in the men's game. And I said, isn't he a barbecue shop in Collingwood? And he said, no.
And I said, and I lost it. And I was like, Broden, it's LeBron, not LeBonton.
That's good. I used to work at Le Bon Ton.
Did
I thought
you?
you'd like it.
Yeah.
LeBron.
Oh, very good.
See that?
Excellent.
I think my
It got me. And I was just, when I heard you crack pepper bit, I was like, it's not really LeBron, LeBonton, but it's close.
Is there a shapes flavour with cracked pepper?
Surely. I reckon some of the 11 herbs and spices on the barbecue might be cracked pepper.
Well, like those, let's
Can I
get.
tell a joke?
Yes, please.
Dad
love
puts
jokes.
jokes from Reddit all the time in our family chat. And the other day he had, I met a microbiologist the other day. He was larger than I expected.
Micro. Oh, yes, that's good. Well, it's a great thing you bring up your father, Greg, because he has just gifted this show, because we live stream this on Wednesday nights. He's just gifted us $20.
Thanks, Dad.
$20.
Hell
Money
yeah.
bags, Greg. Anyway, on that, it's time for the news with Greg's daughter, Marnie. I think we divide the $20 four ways because it's only fair. Paddy gets $5 for his sweets and treats. You can get one of them lunch packs at KFC that's only
Oh,
available.
snack box.
No, but
Popcorn
then,
chicken snack box.
yeah, and then I will.
Supercharged slider, perhaps.
I might get some Augustus gelateria, and Marnie, you can get some sort of sushi.
Oh, I've been put on the spot. $5. You know what I really like? Barbecue shapes with like avocado.
Yeah, that's real classic.
I hear that, and I raise you avocado dip with seaweed crackers.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's actually, I really like cheddar cheese on those seaweed crackers. I know that's a bit odd. There's a lot of flavors going on, but I really like it.
Okay.
This is a great evolution. What I used to do, just an evolution on what you guys are talking about, I used to get white bread, butter, and Doritos, and then put them in and crunch it down and have a Dorito sandwich.
Did you feel great after that?
I went on to be nominated for an actor award, so I must be. So I'm a real success.
He's a star.
Don't tell anyone about that. Marnie, what's the news?
Talking about escaping things, Alex Pearce is free to play after his suspension was overturned, which I think a lot of the AFL fraternity was on board with seeing that. Dustman Jones ran back with a flight of the ball. Otherwise, Alex Pearce would have marked it.
Yeah.
So
Do you think?
how unfortunate for Ralph Harrowitz.
Yes. Do you think that he got his hair out and flicked it around, and the tribunal just went, whoa,
Wow. Gorgeous locks.
wow.
Well, I didn't follow all of David Zeta's tweets about it, but I did see one that was something about like Freo's lawyer was relieved that Alex didn't have to be sworn in because it wasn't a real hearing. It's not a real court.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like, no, you wouldn't have. Sitting in on an actual AFL tribunal, it is just like they act like they're in real court.
Yeah, like
they?
real QCs and everything,
goodness.
right? The best lawyers in Australia, right? It's
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
I've
Yeah.
always thought about that. Why do real lawyers do they have to get across the rules of the AFL as well as the laws of the land?
Yeah.
I guess you can't just be a lawyer for the tribunal. it's too specialist.
Well, I
imagine-
don't know how much they get paid. Depends what club you're in.
Imagine if the mushroom people had to also represent Toby Green.
I imagine that with a lot of QCs, they've got a lot of staff helping them prepare their cases and stuff. It's just about going in there and nailing the argument. And
Yes.
yeah, there'd be a lot of people prepping for them.
What year is it, Tom?
It is 2025.
That's right, KC. Anyway,
Yes.
a bit of respect to our king.
Yeah.
Concerns are growing over the introduction of the Tasmanian AFL team as cost estimates for the new stadium have ballooned by around $170 million.
And they have to get all those lanes onto the bridge as well. So we've got a lot of infrastructure work to do.
We'll know one way or the other by July 30, I believe, because it's going to pass the upper and the lower house in Tasmania.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's been a lot of people saying that it's going to balloon either way. So it's kind of good that it's like everyone's voting very clearly on the amount. Like it's not like people won't vote for it because they think it's going to be more. Like this at this moment, it'll probably balloon again, but at least it's like already clear to everyone voting how much they're voting for.
It just feels like a very odd situation to be in, where they've already announced the AFL team.
Yeah.
They've done all of these campaigns around it. There's all this marketing. Like they've hired people. They've got a CEO and stuff.
They've
and
got
now
a
it's like-
mascot.
They've got a mascot, and now it's like, well, no stadium, no team. When the stadium's not a sure thing, it feels very just uncomfortable.
Benny Gale, friend of the pod, said the other day, I don't know if you have this quote here, Marnie, but if they don't approve it, then we're all out of a job, is what he said.
Yeah, I did see that.
And that I think he didn't say this, but they're going to kill Rumman.
I think, you know what's something really
They're
interesting?
going to take him out the back shed. It's going to be grim. 3 ball, bang, bang, bang.
They should do that in Parliament. No, sorry,
yeah.
I'm just.
Well, yeah,
I'm
mate,
not
he'll
running with
be
this joke.
he'll be up watching in the viewing area. Just this puppeteer in a Rumman suit.
So I think they stuffed up Gold Coast. They stuffed up GWS. And this is why they're now going to have a rough launch of Tassie as well. They won't have enough run up now to put things in place, because Broden was talking to Cooper Hamilton the other day. She's going to come out on Saturday. And they were saying, well, surely they learnt from Gold Coast and the mistakes they made, and GWS was in a good spot. No, they weren't.
No.
So that just means that like this is going to make it so much harder for Tassie.
They believe that they'll be ready to go first round 2028.
But if this keeps dragging out, I reckon it gets harder and harder.
It's not that big. It's not a 100,000 seat stadium. It's only 23.
Yeah, but it's like not having the facilities, the training places, all that, you know.
I like a 23,000 seat stadium. I presume is like just IKEA furniture. Yeah, you just like flat pack it. Yeah,
Well, they're building it on the water, Broden. So they're going to have to put pylons into the water.
we just put some floaties down.
Yeah.
I was emotionally done with that bit, and
Yeah, I was just bringing
I
humour
had
to
so
that.
much ready to go for if you asked any questions about the stadium. Why the price?
why do we need a roof?
Because the AFL said so.
Yeah,
Do you know
and
what's
that's where I
interesting?
disagree.
Cricket Australia are being quite vexatious about it now, in that they're saying, well, we can't play our cricket with a roof. And I heard Jared Waitley say, like, get stuffed. You wanted no part in campaigning for this to be built. Now you cannot just jump on
fuck
now.
'em, yeah.
But also Andrew Dillon's like, well, you know, you can play it with a roof on, get stuffed.
Yeah.
But I believe the roof is not to do so much with rain, which is the main thing. Everyone's like, there's no rain down there. Why do you need a roof? It's the wind.
Yeah.
The wind is the main
So we've
thing.
seen
Yeah.
at the other, at Ninja Creamy and all that. The wind goes crazy.
Well, every single AFLW game.
yeah.
Did you see that? It was doing the rounds on X on social media. The VFL men's player at Kinetic Stadium over the weekend went to like kick it, and the wind literally took it. Like it was, I can't describe it. It was just like
Yeah. But
crazy scenes, but that's what the W playing.
I was going to say it's different with the W though. That's not the wind with the W. That's actually that's
gonna
actually
kill you.
skills. No, but it's funny. It just changes halfway through the year. It's like, no, actually, women can't play on this oval that other guys also can't play on.
Abby McKay is going to be the first father-daughter player. Oh my God, the first father-daughter captain.
Wow.
Because she was named as Carlton's captain after Karen Peterson has been made inactive because she is pregnant. That baby's going to come so soon. I'm very excited. I saw her in the press box the other day. And Mimi Hill has been named the vice captain. So it's very exciting. Abby follows in her father Andrew's footsteps. And it's so cool to see like father-daughter stuff like happening. Like I
Yeah.
love the legacy piece. I love all that stuff.
We've got to find out. There's no rules, as I understand it, in place for mother-son or mother-daughter
Yeah,
yet.
and they need to get it together. Like I just don't understand why they wouldn't make those rules now so that they're ready to go when it crops up instead of waiting for it to crop up to then make the rules.
Because, did anyone have babies in the first AFLW year in like 2017? Because now their kids would be 7, 8.
7, 8, 9, maybe.
So they're 10 years off. But then what's the equivalent of, is it 100 games to play father-son?
I think so.
What's the equivalent of that?
Oh, yeah. It would
be,
need to be way less.
it would be
Way
like,
less.
I feel like it's 3 years on a roster or 4 years on a roster or something like
But
that.
maybe because all this is so much up for debate, especially right now, maybe that's why they haven't introduced it, because they don't even know what they're going to do with father-son going forward.
I think they will be doing, Tom, just because you Gold Coast people.
No, I mean, this is what's up for endless debate at the moment, right?
Oh yeah, I find it really interesting, all of that chit chat around like academies and the fairness. It's really interesting, especially because I do feel like Gold Coast are reaping so many rewards that I would argue is their right. Especially even just like Jed Walter wouldn't be a player because he grew up as playing league and then he went through the academy. We wouldn't have him if it wasn't for the
Exactly right,
academies.
Marnie. Well
but
said.
then GWS don't seem to be reaping the same kind of benefits. Anyway, I just find I did a lot of reading after that whole Nepo baby comment and I found it very interesting.
Luke Hodge lives in Queensland and his son is part of an academy, and he was talking to one of the high schools that he works with up there, and he was saying that the league is at like in the school, AFL has far surpassed league in involvement, but union still outperforms both of them. But they're
That's
like,
interesting.
I may have misheard that. Sorry, Luke Hodge, but I believe it's overtaken them in that world. So it is a really huge thing how much it's overtaking up there.
And that's such a good thing for the game, and that's why the academies are important.
But why do you hate St Kilda, Tom?
Well, St Kilda's just got to get their draft right, and their NGA players get them to stay.
He's been up in arms about this all day.
Really?
I've
Go
been
for
very
it. Let us hear it.
No, just that they got Windhager and Mitch Owens from the NGA program, which is a huge part of it. That's two players they're developed, so shush your mouth, St Kilda. And also, just draft properly and you're not in the position you're in.
I agree.
That's
Also,
it.
there's 18 teams. They can't all be successful at one go. Like, you just have to, like, as the competition evolves, you have to become better and smarter.
Yeah,
You
and
can't-
Suns were so bad for so long and every good player left. You could make an all-star team out of the players that have left Suns. Like, we had it tough for a long time. As soon as we start being good, everyone wants to pile on. So leave it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tom is this. I've never seen him this mad.
I love your passion for the Suns.
He picked up Mark today because Mark came in and said St Kilda, are in the right, and I think he was more talking about the suburb. I don't think he knows AFL, and he picked him up and throttled him.
Yeah, I did.
It was
I threw
horrible
him out
to
the
watch.
window.
Yeah, it was awful.
It's actually mad that the Gold Coast Suns don't reach out to you more for stuff. They should make you their like number one ambassador fan.
They hate me.
Oh,
They've sent him like hate
Yeah.
letters.
They're like, can you please disassociate from the club?
Stop this madness. They said.
oh my god! Imagine a Johnny Big Suns collab.
Exactly.
Whoa!
I'm sure there's a Johnny Big at Pack Fair in Gold Coast. I'm sure there
there
is.
would be.
What's
Neil-
some other news?
Nearly 340 prospects have nominated for Wednesday's mid-season rookie draft, according to the AFL. So by the time this podcast goes out on all wherever you find podcasts, there'll be a bunch of new players, which is always very exciting. Essendon have up to 4 picks at the draft, so they will just find the tall, pick them, and then
Yeah.
play them on Thursday night against Brisbane.
Good stuff. Now, I wanted to talk to this. Are they allowed to still pan for gold?
I don't get it. Sorry.
Did you say that there's how many?
340 prospects?
Oh, prospects.
Not
Did
prospectors.
I
Brody.
say it wrong?
No. He's making a joke about prospecting for gold.
Prospecting it for gold.
Yeah, you know how when you get
It's
prospecting
panning for gold.
Yeah, that's the action, but I think prospecting is the art of finding gold.
There were prospectors.
Two
Yeah.
Ballarat boys over here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Get
Can
the
I tell
terminology
you
right.
something? Because we're big on this, and Marnie, you remove yourself from this conversation. Collingwood are cheating with this as well. You see this?
Why?
They've gone to their player that they want. Tell the clubs who want to draft you that you might sit out a year. And
Where
that
are you pulling
want-
this from?
From X, which is a reliable source.
I know it's not.
And they've told the person they want.
Tom, you don't-
tell the clubs they need to give you 18 months.
I want to be on Marnie's side. I want no part in
No.
this.
This is me and you because we can say this. So I've heard
I don't want
that
nothing
Collingwood are cheating, and
want
they got the Dacos brothers for free.
You
I've had
just
enough.
turned around after the Suns thing. And now you say, don't bring me into your shit.
You and me. You love.
La, 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 la.
I don't know you.
I'm telling you, Collingwood are cheating. Someone
No,
in the
they're
chat
not.
will back me up.
Oh my gosh. No, that's exciting. Very
Make
exciting.
that the podcast heading, and then everyone will listen to the episode.
Exactly,
That's true.
Marnie.
It'll be
That's
the
how
last
we
one.
do it.
I got a business brain over here.
Yeah.
But also exciting that we might see some faces re-emerge. Like Brandon Parfitt is one of those AFL players hoping to return at the list at the top level. Because I feel like we see a lot of second chances turning into like really good.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. There's so many mature people coming through now that are really, really good. I've just received a message from your father saying that there was prospecting in Bathurst.
Well, yeah, because even as I did that little Ballarat thing, I was like, so Bathurst was the gold mining place. So everyone in New
Marnie.
South Wales, like for every school, went to Bathurst on their school excursion because we had so much gold panning. But if you actually grew up in Bathurst, I never went gold panning.
No, you weren't a prospector.
I was not. But if you drive into Bathurst, the first thing you see is the giant gold miner, and they dress him up for different
That's a prospector.
things. Oh, sorry, the prospector. And they dress him up for different things. It's very exciting.
Yeah, hell yeah. And does he drive the car? They put like a Ford shirt on him or something?
They probably do around the Bathurst 1000, yeah.
Broden, just quickly, from John Ralph, a reputable journalist.
Sure. Okay.
The Pies desperately want to land Archer May in the mid-season draft, and they're told, mate, don't play this week, avoid playing this week. They also suggested he should put an 18-month contract demand on his head. That is draft tampering. That is cheating.
Okay.
That is draft
Okay,
tampering.
calm down.
John Ralph just didn't have the guts to call it like I call it.
Tom, you're a madman. Tom, you're a madman. Tom's lost his mind. What other news you got, Marnie?
AFLW fixture is set to be released next week, which is honestly ludicrous.
Is it,
we
bud?
don't have it yet. Preseason is well and truly in full swing. Well, we don't know yet until it happens, but it's supposed to be being released next week. We know that there'll be the Dreamtime game between Essendon and Richmond. We know that the opener will be Carlton Collingwood, and it's apparently going to be a 2-week Pride round, so every single side can get a home Pride, because if you remember from the previous season, since Sydney entered, Sydney weren't given Pride games because they had away games, and so they're like, well, we're just going to do our own, and the AFL like, you're not allowed to. Like,
The home of the Mardi Gras didn't have a Pride round.
Oh, well, they weren't allowed to do the arches as rainbows.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and Sydney said, well, we're just going to go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah.
And now the AFL seems to have caved.
Yeah,
Which is great.
It's strange. In the home of Mardi Gras, like yeah, and then they're not allowed to have a Pride round. It's insanity.
Honestly, yeah. And I know that there's a lot of like, it's not clear cut, but nothing ever is with Sydney's involvement with Pride. But they do lead the way when it comes to Pride. Like, reward them for that.
Marnie, why have they held it so long, do you think, if you were to hazard a guess?
Sydney?
The fixture?
Oh, I can't answer that honestly on mic.
No idea?
Yes, I have an idea.
But you can't say. I'm trying to speculate.
I would just say it's not the top priority at AFL House. AFLW is not the top priority at AFL House. I think I can say that with certainty.
I have a comedy beat if you would like.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to do a serious one, then you do your comedy bit.
serious,
And just
okay,
don't
okay.
make it about Collingwood,
No,
please.
it's not.
I would just say I was hoping that they were trying to get it right, like really perfect. But if it
Absolutely not.
Okay, right. Okay. What's
So
this?
someone in my Discord suggested from Danger Squid that we write a parody song. You know, Coldplay Fix You? We'll do like, I will try and fixture.
Oh, that's about the AFLW.
We
Yeah.
could make a song demanding that AFL release the fixture.
That would get 300 views and take 2 days.
Yeah. But even just like, I know we just talked about Queensland and Origin and the league and numbers and that. But the fact that 927,000 people watched game one of the Women's State of Origin, that's and the same night in AFL Men's, 455,000 people watch it. Almost double people watch NRLW match. Like, it's so frustrating being like, see, the potential's there if you treat it right.
Is there any inkling that they would do a State of Origin for W at all?
Yes. Yeah. Especially they've considered doing exhibition games like that during men's gather round.
Okay. I would love that.
I would love that. I would love Irish v Oz,
Yeah.
and I would also love a women's State of Origin. But at the moment, like, there's no way it would get even a slither of that kind of viewership because it's just not treated with the same professionalism. It's not packaged like a proper thing.
An event, yeah.
Yeah, event. Yeah.
What day
Anyway.
next week is it coming out?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. So it might be Wednesday, might be later.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm going to predict Thursday during the game on next
You're
Thursday.
probably very
You're
correct.
probably right.
Yep.
Sad.
Anyway, I'm interested to see what all the clubs do for their fixture announcements because it's always very fun. The AFLW, the social media team, seems like they have a lot of fun.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Would you like some brand new information that hasn't been released yet?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is embargoed for 7 p.m, but I have special permission to say it on this podcast.
Thanks. We are the new agenda setters. We're half an hour early.
Yeah.
This is sick. I feel cool.
Yeah.
So the AFLPA Insights and Impact Report is being released on Wednesday night. I genuinely like geek out a little bit over reports like this, but it's so helpful. It's so helpful to know like what percentage of AFLW players still have part-time jobs and what percentage are seeking mental health treatment. And like, it's actually really interesting information.
Player Insight Report.
Insights and Impact Report.
And so who does this?
The AFLPA.
All the players do it, or do they elect to do it, or?
Yeah, so the union, so it's with the union,
Yep.
and it's not like it's like one survey. Like a lot of people contribute a lot of different areas. So
Right.
you've got like the welfare person connecting, and the head of W, like Julia Chiara. She's written it's not called an essay, but like an essay thing
Thesis,
in there. And like there's like a lot of like the AFLPA write it, and they gather this information from a range of different places.
Okay, right. Do we have any information from it?
I found this very interesting, especially because I've done a little bit of work in this area over the past year.
Yeah.
ADHD assessments have increased for AFL players by 43% from 2023 to 2024, and that is a further increase from 2022 to 2023, which was 117% increase of players seeking ADHD assessments. And I think that's very cool because even though they're not allowed to release exact figures, just in terms of like confidentiality, they say that reflects the wider societal awareness around ADHD symptoms and just people in society.
That's what I was going to say. That sounds like pretty much societal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's really, I find the ADHD stuff with elite athletes to be so fascinating because there's not a lot of research out there, but the research that is out there suggests that there's a higher percentage of athletes with ADHD in comparison to the general population because it's actually a really good thing to have if you're an elite athlete because you can just like lock in. And even just like Michael Phelps said that, you know, when he was a kid, he actually just like found it really difficult. And then whenever he would get in the water, everything would like calm. And a few like AFLW players have described similar things where everything feels very frantic. And Georgia Garnett explained it to me like it feels like her head's just in soup all the time. And then when she's on the football field, you just like lock in. And it's like, and I just, yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Yeah. Good to hear. Well, I can't wait to read more of that. That would be a very interesting look into it. Cool. And that's all the news. Hell yeah, that's great. Any news from you, Tom?
No, I've done all my bits for the pod. I'm calm now.
What were your bits?
I did so many bits.
Like what?
What did I do a bit about? I did a bit about singing Coldplay.
You did that Collingwood the Cheats thing, which was
Collingwood
a joke.
Cheats thing. You know, I just did heaps of bits.
That's great.
Them.
And your next bit is my favourite bit, and that's called the tipping sting.
Hold on.
Tipping. Tipping. Tipping.
I was told the other day there's a very high chance I have ADHD. And I was like, I am so surprised.
I find it very interesting. People, like even in the past week, 2 people have asked me if I have it. And I would never ask someone outright. I mean, I guess that's actually a product of normalization that it actually probably is fine. But I just find it very odd people having the confidence to be like, do you have ADHD?
Well, everyone in our space is just it's just so open with all of this. So, yeah. So, I don't know about your space that you hang out in, but yeah, over here,
The arts world.
Yeah, it's open to go get a cup of coffee and we'll unpack it, you know? Like.
It's quite lovely. And know what also is lovely is a Thursday night game at the Gabba. One of the 3 Channel 7 games. And aren't they going hard? Did you see, Marnie, in the newspaper, Channel 7 took out a whole page saying, "We show up."
I love it.
I do love it. I do love it.
Thursday night, 7:30, Brisbane versus Essendon, Marnie. 3% of the wider AFL population believe that the Bombers can bring it home, even though they're about to get a new draft pick who probably won't play the next day.
Will be a ruck.
Anyone tipping Essendon? Speak now.
Brisbane by 100.
I have to work this game, which feels very cruel.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good reason to be there, I guess.
Well, they're not flying me to Queensland.
Oh,
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Just really quickly, we got an email during the week and they were like, I listen to your episode every single week and I missed last week for the first time and I did my tips without listening to you and I got 9 out of 10. Another yes.
Yeah. Oh, tipping is so stupid. If I actually tipped, like, because I don't put my tips in because I actually don't want it to ruin my enjoyment of the games. And so I feel like we just chat and I just go with how I feel.
Yeah.
But like, I would not listen to me. God.
Speaking of wonderful feedback, Marnie, did you like your mention on Wacky Willy Wednesday this week?
What do you think disgusting voice means?
I don't know, but if the kids say the darndest things.
I think it was
that
disgusting
swearing?
voice complimentary. you know how kids do that? Like,
Oh, yeah, like it's
Yeah, but
brat.
do you think it's
Yeah.
because I was swearing, like disgusting, or disgusting like I sound bad?
I mean, I get it.
bullying.
I think probably, did you swear?
I'm trying to swear less, but I feel like even this episode I probably swore.
I don't think you have.
no, I don't think
I'm
so.
trying to swear less.
We're all much better than we used to be.
Fuck that. Friday night at the MCG,
Joke.
match of the round, in my opinion. Marnie and I went to see Hawthorn on last Saturday night. We sat down in seats and then we went, let's go get a drink at the end of the second quarter. We went and moved to other seats, and in that time, Brisbane kicked 14 goals in 3 minutes.
Yeah, but then we got to sit up the top of the race and wave at the players.
And we were on TV.
And we're on TV. Yeah, because Sarah Jones was interviewing James Sicily going up the race. And I was like, Broden, wave at the TV. And we did. And then someone messaged on Instagram saying they could see us
Oh,
waving
I
at the
haven't
TV.
seen this footage. I need this footage. This is funny.
I'm a bit disappointed only one person messaged though. Surely more people would have seen us
No one
being
watches
absolute
TV.
nuts just waving at the TV.
I'm tipping Collingwood until something happens. I know they're probably going to drop one soon, but they get back in this week 5 of their best players.
That's true.
In Pendlebury, Side Bottom,
Darcy Moore.
Darcy Mower, Bobby Hill, and Lockie Schultz.
That's a pretty good 5.
Yeah, well rested 5.
I think that Hawthorn are due a win and Collingwood are due a loss. So I'm just going to go Hawthorn. But obviously, Collingwood could very easily win this and should win
What
this.
did they do to you today, Tom?
Collingwood?
Yeah.
You know what? Can I say something positive about Collingwood?
No, get out of
Just
here.
really quickly.
No, yeah, of course.
On TikTok, they're very good. They're becoming my favorite club on TikTok. They do a lot of funny stuff on TikTok. I'll send you guys. a
Name
few.
one funny TikTok you've seen.
Well, I don't want to just repeat them, but they
But
did
that's
like
the best way to show a TikTok is to kind of just say the
like,
TikTok.
explain it poorly.
Yeah.
No, they did like a lookalike one yesterday that was really funny. They were editing on it and the sound effects was really good. Yeah, they're doing really well. The Collingwood social media team.
Are they that one that did the "It's not watching me, it's my anxiety"? Or was that Dochi?
Yeah, that was
Doji.
Doji.
Oh,
That's
so my
Dochi.
mistake.
But Michaela and Jack Crisp did a TikTok of that on her TikTok account.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. And are you tipping Hawthorn on the Pies?
Pies.
Yeah, I think safe to do so. Speaking of insane, 94% of people are tipping the Gold Coast Suns against Fremantle, who are only 6% of people are tipping.
No, people's first. It makes sense.
But then that's the NG Stadium of Queensland.
I'd say this is ours to lose. Like, it's ours to lose. We managed to beat Saints down here, which is our big challenge. We could have one of those, like it's been a tough little 4 weeks on the road, so drop one. But I think we win this.
I think Hawthorn in Darwin was your big challenge. I think you should have been the Saints.
Yes.
I don't feel confident tipping the Suns here in my gut, but I'm going to tip them, obviously, because you have to.
Do you
But
think I'd be too confident now after being the Saints by Sunday?
I just think Fremantle are extremely volatile and Suns could drop one now.
Yes, Suns are absolutely due, like just a random loss
Yeah.
now, like they did against the Tigers 5 or 6 weeks ago. So
I don't feel good tipping Fremantle. I'm going to be wrong. I'm tipping Suns, though. Who are you tipping?
Suns.
Suns,
3
It'd be
Suns.
crazy not to.
3 Suns. What are we from a different solar system?
I do love this. Here's all the reasons I think Gold Coast are going to lose. Oh, you'd be crazy not to tip the Suns.
Yes.
All right.
Saturday, NG Stadium, the home of Fremantle. We've got GWS taking on Richmond. 98%. So far, we've got
Blowouts.
lots of potential blowouts
Yeah.
here. So I'm going Giants against Richmond at NG.
Yeah, Giants for sure.
Yeah, same. But I wouldn't be surprised if this was Richmond got close.
Yeah, okay. Let's find a good game.
Next one is good. Next one's even.
Saturday night, Swans Crows at SCG.
Yeah, so Lachlan McCurdy had a piece this week about the fixturing failure of having GWS playing at Sydney Olympic Park and then an hour later Swans play at the SCG. But I don't know anyone who's going to both GWS and Swans. Because I'm going to be in Sydney this weekend and I would like to go to both. But other than myself, I can't think of anyone who would want to go to both of those games.
Eight people would do it.
Yeah, I read the article too, and it's made me go. Like, how many? It's a 2-team city, but how many people are genuinely
Go to both.
backing both? Like,
By the way,
it seems
if
unlikely.
One game starts at 4:15, and the next game starts at 7:30. So what's the difference there? Games are roughly 2.5 hours. So
Be an hour and a half drive there. That's the problem.
Yeah,
it's-
Olympic Park's
it's
like fucking
4
ages
hours.
away.
Yeah.
no one's doing that.
No one's doing that.
I am going to tip the Crows to win this game because I've been so off the Crows that they're going to want to prove to me that they can win. And the Swannies are having a lull period, a we're off period.
I'm genuinely 50-50 on this. I'm really not sure. I'd like to back in Adelaide, but they've just been so much stronger at home. I think Sydney are due a little win, so I think I'm going to tip Sydney.
Yeah, I have a feeling about Sydney too. My boss's boss is an Adelaide supporter and he is worried about this game.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in this time of year are worried about their team. Like
Not
no one-
me.
yeah, or lost entirely to the sport. Sunday at Alice Strings, Traeger Park, Traeger Park.
Love this.
D's versus Saints. There's a tree on the oval here. There's a tree that hangs over one of the wings.
That seems dangerous.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's really beautiful.
Can you climb the tree and sit on that?
Legally, sure. No, I don't know. I've not
you'd
been
face a
there.
fine.
It's going to be like 18 degrees in Alice Springs, and it's going to be a fascinating game. I do not trust the D's in this game at all. I think
That's
this is
interesting.
such a danger game to the point where I'm like, I might even tip Saints.
I wouldn't accept less than a 100-point win from the D's.
Well,
with the
how
form that you've
quickly
been in.
we've all turned from these two people here who are like, they're rebuilding.
I call it as I see it, and you've won 5 of the last 6. How many times do I need to say it? You're the in-form team of the competition. Broden.
Collingwood have won.
No,
Yeah,
these are
Collingwood
not
no
the
good.
informed team.
Absolutely, they are, mate.
Yeah.
So they've won. Melbourne have won 4 of their last 5, and Saints have lost 4 of their last 5.
Well,
Wow.
oh,
So you're tipping
D's by at
you'd
least
be
100.
crazy not to.
You're tipping D's?
Yeah.
I'm tipping Saints.
So I said last week about a game, and I was actually right for once.
Which game?
I said Geelong with the obvious tip because it was their home game, and they never lose there.
Bulldogs should have. They just couldn't kick straight.
Yeah,
Frustrating.
If anyone missed that, I am tipping St Kilda.
agree. You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last game, depression. Oh my gosh. Sunday night, 7:20.
We're going to podcast through this. I
Yeah,
think.
we know we're recording before this game starts.
Yeah, don't
I tell you what.
don't care. sorry.
West Coast taking on Geelong at
Watch
7:20.
West Coast win this now.
I mean, that's what happens every time we go, we'll just start at 6.
There is a shoulder injury to Jake Ward.
Waterman.
Season ending.
Yeah, after signing a
that's
big contract.
horrible.
Yeah, it's very, very sad.
Jake did some great talking about Crohn's and colitis the other day.
Did he?
Yeah. he
We
did
should
a
get
great
Jake
video.
on.
He'd be awesome to talk to about.
Is he from Melbourne originally?
I think he might be. No.
No. Paddy knows more than you. Paddy shook
does
his
know.
head.
Paddy does know.
Yeah, we should talk to Jake Ward.
Yeah, I love that.
Do you know what? I'm going to tip the Cats.
Me too.
I'm tipping West Coast.
Are you actually?
No.
I mean, over at Optus, give him a slice.
There's no chance in hell.
Slither.
No chance.
I give him a slither.
A slither. Hell yeah. But I don't give them any chance. Well, that's all the tipping, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful week. I needed the footy to come back today. I'm so happy it's back. It's been a long week. I feel like we're in Melbourne at least getting really into the winter season. Everyone's down and tired and out of it and starting to get sick. And I just want to mark now for me, but also for people who are listening that like when the summer comes and you're like that regular footy every weekend thing really does lift my spirit. So I'm so rapt that this is the start of the weekend, so enjoy it and enjoy these 8 blowouts in a row.
Yeah, and there must be buys. And yeah, there's 4 teams having buys as well. Just thought I should mention that.
Is
Yeah.
that? Because that
Yeah.
went quick.
Yeah,
Carlton, North, Port and Doggies. So yeah, that's why there's so many blowouts and less games.
All right, folks, let's get out of here. Have a great one, everyone. Keep an eye out for Cooper on the weekend. Great chat. And bounce that pill. And thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight for a lovely chat with you all. Shout out to all these people in here going through headaches or quite bad migraine. And also, this guy's been on the phone to the tax authority for the last 9 hours.
Fuck those cunts, mate.
Oh,
now that we're not live anymore. If you work for the tax department, I've got a few words for you. I'm
What are
upset.
the words?
Who you Collingwood or ATO? Who do you?
Who do I hate more? Collingwood or the ATO?
Yeah.
The ATO for sure.
Wow.
Can I just vent to the chat for 2 seconds?
Sure.
So I have an accountant, right? Because my tax is very complex because we own a business and stuff called Auntie Donna. Check it out. Every time that my accountant does anything on my behalf, the ATO thinks I'm getting frauded and lock my account. So I have to call them every 2 times a week and unlock my fucking account. Anyway, that's
What?
my vent.
Can I share something?
Yeah, is it about your superannuation?
Where the fuck is my super? I was watching Wicked at my friend's house the other day because he'd never seen it.
The movie.
Great movie.
I got 9 minutes in and then I went home, went to bed. But because, there's the goat character,
Yeah.
paused it and in a very big tone shift made me watch the Breakfast Goats again.
Your friend did? Who's your friend?
You poor person.
Jack Stammers. He's a boundary ump.
In the AFL?
No, he's a goal ump. He gets someone when I call him boundary ump. He's a goal umpire.
There's a goal umpire in the AFL watching Breakfast Goat.
It was very funny.
That's the last sketch I would have shown you.
It was
probably.
very funny.
You got
But
milk and butter and eggs. You got milk
eggs and butter and
yes,
eggs.
because then he started doing that when it's like, no, it's defying gravity. We're not doing the milk song.
butter and we also got this goat. Hello.
That Broden was the goat.
Yes.
That was an easy day of shooting. Great. Well, I think we got a full goat for that. Taxidermy goat.
Probably.
Bye. See you later.